This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So good morning team in this Azure Data Engineer Master Program. So in today's session, we will talk about copy data from source blob storage input folder to sync blob storage output folder using the Azure Data Factory. So I know at this moment you may not have any idea what is this lab all about, but we will be understanding each and everything what we are going to do. First we will understand what is this requirement, what we are going to do. So once this requirement once we understand this, okay, so then we will go and do the lab, we will go and do the lab team. Okay, so now what we will do, let's understand what we will learn. We will learn Azure Data Engineering Introduction, Introduction to the Azure Data Factory, Introduction to the Integration Runtime. Integration Runtime is one of the engine, okay, one of the engine in Azure Data Factory, which we will be using for moving the data. Introduction to the Azure Blob Storage. It is kind of your Google, like Google Drive, which is a storage, 15 GB storage you will have. Similarly, it is a Azure Blob Storage is a cloud storage where you can able to store your data. People who are not aware of how the CSV file will look like, I'll show you CSV file. Scenarios, we will see what all scenarios we will be discussing in today's session. Prerequisites. So what are the things that we need in order to do today lab? And required resources. What are the Azure services or Azure resources that we need for doing the today lab? And hands-on steps. What all steps we need to follow in order to complete this hands-on lab? First, let's start with Azure Data Engineering. So Azure Data Engineer means, before we move on and understand Azure Data Engineer, just think of like this, because many of you already know how to use Flipkart, how to use Amazon, how to use Snapdeal, or how to make a transaction through the net banking, how to make a transactions through the UPI, Phone Pay or Google Pay, right? So these are very general because that is what now people are using through their mobiles, correct? So now let's imagine, so we have a user one who placed a order in the Flipkart, and this order details, general purpose HP laptop he ordered. So that particular order details we are storing in the SQL database. So remember, SQL database is a one type of database where the data is stored in the tabular format. When you say data is in a tabular format, it is a structured data. What is meant by structured data? It has a fixed number of columns with the data types. Okay, so user one went to the Flipkart web applications. I hope everybody aware. If you are not still used, or if you are, at least if you are not placed order, I hope you have like entered into the Flipkart website, you have looked at the different products. So if you are still not using Flipkart, means I don't know whether you are still in this world or not. Okay, so most of you use the Flipkart web applications. We know what general people does. So people can go and search for the products that they are looking for. They can place they can buy that particular product from the web applications. So whatever order that you have placed, those order details business can store in whatever database. Let's imagine Flipkart is storing that order details in the SQL database. I have a user too who placed the order, HP laptop order in the Amazon. From the Amazon is another retail web application from where you can buy the products. So user 2, let's say we have multiple people. You consider Anusha is placing the HP laptop from the Flipkart, and Aparna is placing the order from the Amazon, right? So Bharat is placing the order from the local store. Maybe he is going to the local store and he is buying from the local store. So if you see, user one buy the laptop, purchase the laptop through Flipkart. User two purchase the laptop through Amazon. User three purchase the laptop through by visiting the physical store. Let's say physical store is in Hyderabad, Gachibowli, or Hyderabad, Kondapur, or Hyderabad, Kukatpalli. So there, their we have HP local stores, we can go to the HP local store and we can order the HP laptop. If it is already available, they will give you. Otherwise, they will say just to give us 1 or 2 days, sir. It is yet to receive. So they will say after 1 or 2 days you can go and get it. Now, if you see here, this user one placed a general purpose HP laptop he purchased. User 2, if you see gaming HP laptop, user 3 also gaming HP laptop he has purchased. Now, different category of purchases we have collected across different databases. Here SQL database, here Postgres database. So whenever you say database, it is a structured format, because data we are going to store it in the tabular format. So whoever not aware of table, normal table, right? Normal table. So similar, you will have a columns and rows. For example, employee ID, employee name, employee salary is a table. So in that table, generally people can able to store. Here, when it comes to the order details, you may have order ID, order name, order quantity, order price, order date. Lot of details we are going to collect it and store it in SQL database. Here Postgres database. Here local store, maybe CSV files. Now what we wanted to do, now as a HP admin, like I am the owner of the HP company, so I want to know the total sales of my laptop. See, first thing is I have to collect. Data engineer role is he has to design means he has to have a proper planning, like some design he has to do, how the data should be processed to understand his business. He has to design, then he has to build the systems according to his design. So as part of this design and build, there are few steps we need to follow. The first step is we need to collect data from all these different databases and different storages. We need to collect the files, and from the different databases we need to collect the data into a centralized storage. What is the first step that I am doing? Once users can place orders across a online or from the local store or whatever it is, as a HP company owner, I want to know how I am performing. What category of laptops are performing well? What category of laptops are not performing well? In order to understand that, as a data engineer first responsibility is to collect data from various source systems. That is the first thing. Second thing is, whatever data he is collecting from different storages and file systems, he has to keep it in a centralized storage. First step is collecting data from various sources. Second step is storing at a centralized storage, meaning there should be a common storage where we can able to keep all this data which we are collected from various sources. We can store it at a centralized place. So what you will do after storing the data in this centralized storage is, now I can process it. Process it means I will clean the data. So bad data will be there, where data will not be useful, meaning customer has placed a order but he has cancelled. So I don't want cancelled orders, because those are not delivered. There are some products which I have delivered but customer has returned, so those items also I should not basically consider for selling. So selling category, I have to take the items which are delivered, which can't be returned. But if you want to calculate how many items, for example 100 items I delivered, 20 items is returned, so return percentage is 20. So that calculation is different. So return percentage I want to know, total sales percentage I want to know, cancelled percentage I want to know. There are different aspects of your business. In order to know, first you collected, second step is you stored, third step is you are analyzing the data, sorry, you are processing the data, meaning you are cleaning the data. After cleaning, and once you calculate the total sales of the laptops, now you will analyze it. What is meant by analysis? Now you have a calculations, everything ready. Now analysis means, now I want to know from Hyderabad how the sales, from Telangana entire state how the sales, from entire India how the sales, in entire US how the sales. This is one category. By city or by country you can do it. The other way is by laptop category, general purpose laptop, how it is performing, gaming HP laptops, how it is performing, right? This is the second level of analysis. Third analysis is I want to understand in particular location, let's say in Hyderabad, compared to last month, how my sales this week. Okay, so like that you need to compare and you need to analyze to understand which category of laptops are not performing well, meaning not people are not buying, which category of laptops people are not buying. Second thing we wanted to know is second thing we want to know is um, like in which location people are not buying the laptops, right? So we want to analyze so that we can just tell business, hey team, in this location people are not buying much, so that they can put some discounts or some they will apply some kind of a coupons they will distribute, so that people, okay, for example in Bangalore laptop is 30,000, in Hyderabad it is 27,000, people will buy in Hyderabad because 3,000 you are saving, right? So similarly you can able to increase the sales by decreasing the price or some of the aspects you can able to work on that to improve the sales. So that is what finally you will be doing. The transformation and calculation is nothing but you are processing and analyzing, and finally you are presenting in the reporting. So what is the benefit of putting everything in the reporting team? Because if you look at the data it is very difficult to understand, but if you look at the graph you can quickly understand, okay, what percentage of the laptop sales happened in this month, and in which location, how we are performing, what is the top performing location or top performing laptop category, like that you can able to know. Okay, this is the one use case to explain what is data engineering. But in data engineering you need to understand few things. Step one is data engineer responsibility is to collect data from various source systems. Second thing is he has to store at a centralized storage. Third thing is he has to process it. Okay, he has to process. Just to think of, you have a books, entire room you have a books. So now you have to collect the books from the different rooms and put it at a single place. After putting at a single place, okay, now you collected books from the various rooms and you stored at a single room. So next processing means, now what you need to do, all category of the, all category of this let's say all uh, religion books at one side, political related books at another side, normal stories at the moral stories books at the one side, like that you will be putting in the category wise after processing, meaning after arranging it. So you will come to know, okay, this is for political books, this is a moral books, and so on, right? You will arranging the books in the library. After that, now you want to analyze, so which are the books which are frequently people wanted to take and read it. So those books you want to keep it at a different place, and you want to know which books we are not going to use much from this library, those you want to keep at the last shelf or something like that. Correct? That's how there is a total 5 steps involved in the data engineering: collecting data, storing data, processing. After processing you will have a what how you are doing. From there you need to analyze the things. After analyzing you need to represent that in the visual, in the graphs, because graph will give you the better knowledge than the data. Okay, this is the high level 5 steps of the data engineering team. So anybody have any doubts, please let me know, team. Anybody have any doubts, please let me know till here. No doubts? Fine. So let me take another use case. Just to think of, as a user, you are placing a requesting for 1 lakh loan from the net banking. So another user is making a UPI payment for transferring of 10k INR, and another user is using mobile app for transferring the 10 lakhs order details saved in CSV file. Now I want to collect all the things that are happening across all the applications, and I want to identify the suspected transactions. Let's say user 3, if you see, he transferred 10 lakhs at a time, so he never make this much transaction. So what happens now? Immediately we want to track such type of transactions, and we want to freeze his account. We want to freeze his account for some time until he confirm that he only made the transaction. So we will be saving all these transaction details in the databases or in the files. Finally, we are collecting data, putting at the centralized place. Then we will be doing same transformation, and calculation is nothing but a processing. After processing, we will be analyzing. Okay, team. Please let me know, Tim, if you have any questions. So similarly, you can consider in the healthcare domain or travel domain. Maybe you can book a bus through the local state government website, or you can book a bus from the red. I think you have a different, right? Abibus, Redbus, so many things. You can use these web applications to book a whatever bus, right? You can book a bus, and the bus details will be saved in the database or files. You can collect and store at a single place. You can process it, and you can analyze. Finally, you can show it in the report. Everybody's clear? Anybody have any doubts still here? This is a data engineering overview, team. Now let's understand what is data factory. Okay, so before we move on to the data factory, so let's imagine, team, you and your friend went to the trip. You and your friend went to the trip, and there, let's say you went to a Jammu and Kashmir, and you spent 1 week. You have taken a lot of photos. So this is a friend one mobile. Okay, mobile one is a friend one mobile. He has some pictures in the gallery. He has some pictures. So let's say this is the mobile 2, this is the gallery, meaning he is a friend 1, he is a friend 2. So now what we want to do, we want to move this pictures from gallery, mobile 1 gallery to mobile 2 gallery. So now tell me what your friend, how your friend will send the photos to your mobile team. Just you need to think practically. What is the first step your friend is going to do in order to send these photos to your mobile? We have less time, don't waste time, please respond.
Select the photos.
Okay, so meaning directly user one will go and select the photos, correct? He don't require
E-
to enter into the mobile. How we will be entering into the mobile? Meaning if he is going to send directly photos, then somebody else also can take his mobile, and they also can send it, right? Why only that person is required? Maybe if he lost his phone, anybody can able to look at his photos and all, right? Is that correct? Think practically, granular level. You need to think practically. If you're just doing the things high level, it will not come the exact answer. You have to think practical. Just think, you want to send some photos to your friend, you take your mobile, and first step what you are doing in your mobile, tell me. Just practically do it and tell me. Unlocking the phone first. So meaning first what you will be doing, you will be unlocking your mobile through a pin or thumb recognition or pattern, meaning different ways you are using to unlock the mobile one. First you need to unlock, your friend has to unlock. Once he unlock the mobile, then he can go to gallery and he can select the file. He can go to gallery and he can select the photos that he wanted to send. He can select. After selecting, you should have a WhatsApp ID or mail ID, the address. Like for example, if you want to send a mobile through WhatsApp, you need a WhatsApp ID. If you want to send a photo through mail ID, you need a mail ID. Once you get the mail ID or WhatsApp ID, so then he will be sending it. So when you send it, you should not put his number or his mail ID in the block list. If you put it in the block list, he can't able to send it. So you should allow. So that's why you are allowed. You can able to, he can able to send, you will receive it. So when you receive it, where you can able to see, where it will go, it will basically go to the mobile 2. In order to go to the mobile 2, we have given all the required permission. But if you want to go and see whether that photo is really loaded or not, you need to unlock this mobile and you need to go and check whether the photo is loaded into the gallery 2 or not. Clear, team? All of you clear? So now who is going to do this entire process? Network is going to do. Who is going to do? Network. Through the network, we will be transferring this. Meaning our internet is going to do using either a mail or WhatsApp, whatever you wanted to use, you can able to use. Everybody understood this? Everybody understood team here? Very similar to this team, very similar to this. Now if you see, whenever we want to transfer some data from one place to another place, the first thing is you need to enter into that particular storage. After entering into that particular storage, so you are unlocking is nothing but you are establishing the connection. You are establishing the connection. So whenever I want to move some photos from mobile 1 to mobile 2, how many connections we need? Tell me. How many connections we need, Tim, whenever we want to transfer data from mobile 1 to mobile 2? Everybody should respond. Only I am seeing one or two people are responding, Tim. Please tell me. Two connections. Very good. One you can see for mobile 1, another one is for the mobile 2. So now you have selected at source side one data, and sink side you selected a one data where you want to load. Okay, source side you pointed to this gallery, mobile 1 gallery. Sink side you pointed to the mobile 2 gallery. So this is nothing but a, even though it is a photo, we will call this as a data. So data selection, this is the data selection I am doing at the source side. Sink side also I am doing a data selection to say where I have to store my photos which I am receiving through the WhatsApp. I can just change the location where I want to save this. So that's why source data selection, I have done it from where I need to read. Sync data selection, meaning target side also I selected the data where I want to store. So I have a source side data selection, I have a sync side data selection. Now tell me how many data sets we need. Source side data set I have taken for selecting the source set. Sync side data set I have taken to load the data into the sync set. So again, two data sets we need. How many linked services we need? How many connections we need? Connection is nothing but a linked service in the Azure Data Factory. We will use the terminology later. Connections we need two. We need a two data sets. Now actually what is the task that we want to perform? Copy task. I don't want to remove the photo from my side. I want to just one copy of this photo, I want to send it to the end user. So I want to use a task called copy task. So how many tasks we need? Only one task is enough to send this photo from source side to sync side. But who is doing all these things? Reality, WhatsApp is not doing, because if you turn off your internet and if you send some photo to your WhatsApp, will photo deliver or not? Will your photo will deliver or not? Tell me, will your photo deliver or not? Hmm? Photo will not deliver if you turn off the network, right? So here everything is happening through the network. So this is the main component which is basically helping us to move the or copy this particular file from source to sync. And we are using a applications as a tools. WhatsApp is a tool or EMA as a tool to service to copy the file from source to sync team. Okay, all of you clear on this? Please let me know if anybody have any doubts in this. Everybody's clear, team? Just a minute. Okay, till here anybody have any questions? I'm asking you. Okay, how will two connections comes up? How will come two connections? Yes, because mobile one is different, mobile two is different, right? You will have a two connections. Mobile one is different, mobile two is different. See, for example, your friend mobile and your mobile. So both you have to unlock and your friend also has to unlock, right? Okay. So now let's see, let me give you one more example. So just think of like this. There is house, you are shifting from one location, let's say from Bangalore to Hyderabad, you are moving from house. Okay. So when you are switching the house from Bangalore to Hyderabad, okay, Bangalore to Hyderabad, now what we wanted to do, so we want to first unlock this room and we need to enter into this room and we need to pack the items that we want to move it into the Hyderabad. From Bangalore to Hyderabad, whatever items I want to move, I have to pack it. Now after packing, I need to have a delivery address where it should be moved. And next I want to do the unpacking. After unpacking, I have to unlock the this particular house again and I need to place it. Now you want to take everything from the source or you want to take only few things from the source, that you need to decide. Even if you want everything from the source, you can take it. You want only selected items, you can take it. So whatever way you want, you can able to do. But this task, who is going to perform, team? Delivery boys is going to do, correct? Generally these kind of things who will be doing, delivery boys is going to do. So who is going to handle these things? Delivery manager is a high level manager who is taking care of everything, but actual things will be delivered by the delivery boys, who is basically like packing things on, like, and going to the whole house and packing things and putting them in the some lorry or something and transporting, after transporting, unpacking and keeping in the like Hyderabad out safely. All these things will be done by delivery boys. Okay, this is another example. Any doubts in this? I think some people are putting questions in the chat. Do we call destination target files as a sync? Yes, sync is not this sync. Sync is SINK. Sync is different. SINK. Sync means, sync is nothing but a target. Okay, destination or target or sync, anything you can call it as Rija. Okay, sync, SINK is a sync, not SYNC. SYNC means that sync is nothing but you are matching, you are basically maintaining both same data, something like that. Okay, both should be having a same content. It is nothing but in sync. Okay, anybody have any doubts in this? All of you understood, because these two examples I have given to make sure you understand the things that I'm telling you next. See, our requirement today is what? Our requirement today is we want to copy data from blob storage input folder. It has some files like this CSV, JSON. So I want to copy this file into the blob storage, target blob storage in the output folder. See, this is a one of the source storage. We have a folder called input. In that I have JSON CSV files. I have a sync storage called blob storage. Within that I have an output folder. Our goal is to copy the files from input container CSV files to output folder CSV files. Okay. In output container, I want to copy this CSV files. The first thing that we need is we need to establish a connection to the source storage. It is called a linked service. After that, we need to create an input data set. It is nothing but a source side. We need to select the data that we want. Then we need to use a task called copy activity task to copy this particular file to the output data set. Output data set which points to the output folder. So in order to load the data, in order to select this output folder, first you need to establish the connection. First you need to establish the connection. If you want to load JSON, you can load. If you want CSV, you can load whatever. So some people are asking, right? So all the files can be loaded. Yes, like this. If you have a JSON, CSV, everything also you can load. If you want to load only CSV, also can be loaded. All scenarios we will cover. So this is how we will be copying the files from blob storage input folder to another blob storage output folder. For that, two connections I have created, two linked services. One is for source blob, one is for the sync blob. Two data sets, one is for the source blob, another is for the sync blob. Then one task I am using copy activity task. Now here who is going to do is there is a computer. This computer is called a Azure Integration Runtime. This computer is called a Azure Integration Runtime. So where these all things will be managed is within the Azure Data Factory, it will be managed. You have seen in first example network. That network will be used in the WhatsApp or email. In second example, I have shown you delivery boys is going to do the actual thing, but it will be managed by the delivery manager. Okay, delivery boys is doing the things, but delivery managers is managing. In ultimate today, this lab you can see to copy the file from Azure Blob Storage input container to another Azure Blob Storage output container. Who is really helping to copy this file, Tim? Who is really helping to copy these files? Tell me, Tim, who is really helping us to copy file from source blob storage input to sync blob storage output folder? Azure Integration Runtime. It is also known as IR. In short term, people rename it as a IR. Azure IR is nothing but a Azure Integration Runtime, which is a computer is helping us to copy the file from source blob storage to the sync blob storage from input to output folders. Everything is going to be done within the data factory. All of you clear till here? I hope everybody got some knowledge on what is data factory, what is Azure integration runtime, what is storage account. So let's understand some theoretical point. What is Azure Data Factory? So Azure Data Factory is a cloud-based data integration service. So what is integration service? So we need a system which connects to the different source systems to collect data and load it into the centralized place. For that, you can use a Azure integration runtime in the cloud. So because what is on-premise, what is cloud, I'll explain to you. If you're not aware, just think of if you have a 1 terabyte of data. In order to store, you will order a hard disk from the Flipkart or Amazon. It will come to your home. So you will be connecting to your laptop and you are transferring all data to your hard disk. So meaning we are storing all this data in the hard disk. Now it's our responsibility to take care. So you need to carry that hard disk wherever you are going, and you need to take care of the security, physical security also, meaning you should not forget somewhere, right? So you need to take care of data should not be corrected within the disk. Everything you have to manage it. If you see, now I am talking about one storage called Blob Storage. It's a cloud storage. So now maintenance data should not be corrupted. So the continuous upgrades, so security risk and all will be managed by the Microsoft. But I'll give you better knowledge on the on-premise versus cloud. But remember, ADF is a cloud service and it is a data integration service as well. So Azure Data Factory is available in the cloud, and within the cloud it is a data integration service, which is nothing but it connects to the various source systems, collects the data and load the data into the centralized storage system. So you like we told that data factory is a cloud service and it can connect to the various source systems. We have seen Flipkart, Amazon. Local store data is available in a SQL database, Postgres database, and local store drive in CSV files. Now we need to collect the data. Now you collected and loaded data, but tomorrow again new data comes. How you will do it? So that's why this service allows you to create a pipeline so that that pipeline can be scheduled to run every day. What it means, you create a pipeline and run every day, so that whatever new data is there in the source system, it is continuously fetching from yesterday. For example, today you will schedule your pipeline to run every day, which means pipeline is going to connect to the source systems every day and it collects the data and put it at the centralized place. And you can orchestrate data workflow at a scale. For example, orchestrate means you can organize the workflow. How? First, I want to complete the Flipkart data load into the centralized storage. After that, I want to load the image and data into the centralized storage. Finally, I want to store my local data into the centralized storage. So like that, you can orchestrate, organize the data flow. So you can create a pipeline to collect data from various source systems. You can schedule it to collect data continuously every day, and you can also put the dependency. You can organize what should be done first, what should be done second, what should be done third. Okay, like that. So ADF is a primarily used to build a complex data pipelines for the ETL. ETL means you take the data, do the processing and finally load the data for the analysis. Okay, that is nothing but ETL. You takes the data, you will clean it, you will process it. The processed data, you will put it in the final storages called data warehouses or data lakes or other storage systems, so that from there data will be goes for the analysis. Okay, so like what happens in the cloud is it can be ETL or ELT, meaning first you extract data and load it. After loading, you can do the transformations. So anything can happen. First you can extract data, read data, transform it, final data you can load it, or first you read data, load it into the cloud. After loading data into the cloud, then you can do the data transformation within the cloud. Anything you can do, ETL or ELT. So these pipelines can ingest data from various sources, transform it into usable formats, and load it into the destination systems like data warehouse, data lakes, and other storage systems. Final, whatever databases, storage systems we have, we will be loading data into that. Core components of ADF, if you see, we just have seen integration runtime is a compute infrastructure used by the data factory to run activities in the pipeline. Activities is nothing but a copy is a one of the activity. To run the copy activity, we need the integration runtime. So it enables the movement and transformations of the data across a different network environment. So I will talk more into the environments and all. You will have a public environment, private network, public network. So private network means, let's say some data is there in my computer. So somebody else can't connect to my laptop to read data, right? So you need you required a special permission because it's a private network. I am managing my computer. So how to handle such type of things and all, we will understand. But high level, try to understand today. Integration runtime is a computer which helps us to move the data from one place to another place. Linked service is a connections for storages or databases. Whenever you want to read a data, you need to connect. Data set is nothing but you need to select the data that you need. You can't copy everything, right? You need only new data, or you need only specific data that you want, you need to take it. So activity is nothing but you selected a specific data, but that data you want to copy, or you want to cut and paste, or you want to delete it, you need to tell through the activity. So first you are copying, after that I want to delete it. There are multiple tasks I want to perform. Whenever you want to perform a multiple task, so this task should be organized. So that organizing of the task will be done within the pipeline. Pipeline is a logical grouping of activities. Activity is nothing but tasks. So the logically we are grouping. So first I want to copy the data using copy activity. Next I want to use delete activity to delete the data that I have copied. For example, you are copying data from a source to sink. After copying data from source to sink, so same data you have here, same data you have here. So for the cost saving purpose, you don't want this data to be maintained here because already data is copied into the destination. So you can remove the data from here. So for that, first you can use a copy task which copies the data. Second, you can use another task that deletes the data. So this sub like sequence of task, first copy task, next delete task. This sequence of task we can able to put it within the pipeline. So trigger is basically used for scheduling. If you want to run this pipeline every day at 8 a.m., every day at 7 a.m., you can able to use this particular trigger to schedule this pipeline. Okay, anybody have any doubts in this? So integration runtime, I just discussed, like imagine you are building a factory. So integration runtime is like engine or worker that does the actual job of moving or transforming the data. So it is responsible for connecting to different places where your data lives. Maybe your data is in my computer, your data is in within the cloud, some other storage. And if you want to move or change the data as per your instructions, you can use the integration runtime. So better example, some example, imagine you are building a factory. So let's say whatever factory that you are building, so that needs to move raw material, because whenever you are building a, let's say, steel factory you are building, so in order to make the steel as a gates or window gates or whatever, so first you need to bring the, so what you need to do, you need to move raw material from one place to another place, then process it, then deliver it to the final destination. Three steps are involved. First you are moving the raw material, okay, then you are processing it, finally you are delivering to the final destination. So who is going to do moving the raw material from source to from the one place to another place, and then processing it, meaning making that steel to the gates, and then delivering to the customer who is requested that, who is going to do, workers is going to do. Similarly here integration runtime is a kind of a worker or engine who is basically doing the similar job for us, of heavy lifting, like doing all these things in the back end. We no need to give one instruction. Everything will be done by the integration runtime itself. See, integration runtime is like the factory workers or machinery that do the heavy lifting. Without these workers, nothing would actually get done, right? So similarly, if you don't have any workers who are working in your factory, you can't deliver anything to your end user. Similarly, integration runtime is the key, which is a engine or worker. Without integration runtime, you can't do anything within the data factory. Okay, any questions still here? If you have any questions in between, please post it in the chat window. I'll take it, Tim, if you're not asking in between. Okay. So data workflow at scale means the compute that is required to load huge amount of data through the data pipelines. The compute will be managed by the Microsoft. You can take as much compute as you want, scale up and down. At a scale means you can load huge amount of data, you can load small amount of data, anything. If you want to load huge amount of data, to load that huge amount of data, whatever engine, big engine that you need, that will be supported by the ADF. You don't have any issues with volume of data. Any volume of data you can able to load. That is the meaning of at scale. Okay. Okay. Now, what is Azure Blob Storage? Okay, she is not clear. So just to think of like this thing. So you have a five chocolates. You have one person's to eat. If you have a 500 chocolates, if you give one person, it takes a lot of time. So you have a five chocolates, you have used one person. If you have 500 chocolates, if you give to one person, it takes a lot of time. In such cases, you need a 100 people or at least 50 people, so that all 50 people or 100 people can eat the chocolates quickly, right? So that your eating chocolates will be finished quickly. Similarly, you have a small data, less small engine will be given to copy the data. If you have very huge data, very huge compute, big compute or big engine, ADF can able to support you, so that you can use this big engine to move the huge amount of data from source to destination. Debrita, clear? Okay. So now let's imagine Azure Blob Storage is a cloud-based storage service provided by the Microsoft Azure that is used to store large amount of unstructured data such as texts, image, videos, backup. All these are example. Text maybe it can be structured or semi-structured. Images, videos are nothing but your unstructured data. So all these type of data you can able to store it in the blob storage. What is the stands for blob is binary large object. Binary is nothing but a zeros and ones. Your like images, audio files, video files, all these things will be stored in the zeros and ones only in the binary format. So very big binary objects also, meaning very big videos, audios, images, you can able to store it in the blob storage. It is a designed for storing the binary large objects. Okay, meaning binary is nothing but audio, video, images is examples for the binary. So within these kind of objects, if we have a very big objects also, we can able to store within the blob, meaning it can store any type of file or any size of file from small document to massive video files. Okay, key concepts of the Azure Blob Storage, if you see, the blob refers to a file or image or video or document. Container is nothing but a folder. Okay, remember, storage account is the high level which is managing all this containers. Okay, now you see down, first we will create a one storage account in the Azure cloud. Within this account you can create a multiple folders. Photos is the folders, movies is the another folder. Within this photos folder you can store the blobs like image 1, image 2, and here in the movies folder you can store the movies. All these are the blobs. So blob metadata will be stored. What is the size of this file, type of the file, and so on is a metadata will be stored. This is the way, the hierarchy. First you will create a storage account. Within that you will create a folders. Within the folder you will put the files. Clear all of you? High level I am giving you, Tim. Basically you will come to know slowly when we start using these things. Okay, scenario is very straightforward scenario. Today we are trying to copy single CSV file from source storage input container to sync storage output container as a CSV file as it is. So for this we will be using a copy activity, copy task. Estimations, if you see, to copy single CSV file from source storage input container to sync storage output container as a CSV file, how many linked services we need, Tim? How many linked services we need? 2. How many data sets we need? 2. How many copy activities we need? Only one copy activity is enough. How many pipelines we need? One pipeline. What type of IR we need to use, Tim? So there are different types of IRs will be there. So first we will be starting with the Azure Integration Runtime. You will come to know other types of integration runtime going forward. Okay, these are the estimations. Prerequisites, if you see, you should understand what is storage account, what is Azure Data Factory, what is linked service, what is dataset, what is activity, what is pipeline. So I hope everybody understood. Storage account for storing our data. Data Factory is a high level service. Within that we can able to create linked service for connection, dataset for selecting the data, activity is a task, whether we want to copy, we want to delete it. Pipeline is a streamline of process. Required resources, if you see, we need only two things, storage account and a data factory. We need to create it from the Azure. Okay, hands-on steps. First I'll go to the Azure portal. I'll create a two storage accounts. One is source storage, second one is a sync storage. Then I'll create a data factory. Then I'll create input folder in the source storage and upload a CSV file. And next I'll create output folder in the sync storage. Then I'll create a linked service for source blob storage. I'll create a linked service connection for sync blob storage. So create a source data reference, sync data reference is nothing but a two data sets. Create a pipeline and configure copy activity to copy data from source to sync storage. So I'll show you everything. Finally, you need to debug your pipeline and you need to test whether output folder is got the required files or not. Okay, these are the hands-on steps, team. So till here theory is completed. Now I am entering into the lab. So this is the first day session, that's why some theory we have discussed, but from tomorrow onwards we have less theory, more practical. Today 60% to 70% we discuss a theory, but we will be doing some lab. But from tomorrow onwards there won't be any theory, because first day I need to give you some introduction, otherwise people will ask what is that, what is this and that. So till here, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll start the lab. Anybody have any questions till here? Okay. If no doubts, let me move to the here. So don't worry, team. This is the first session. It takes some time for you to understand the things. Whoever is not able to understand, don't feel bad. Okay. It takes time. I'll share recording. You can go through the recording. You'll be able to understand things. Now I'm opening this. Yeah, you will come to know. You will come to know. Just wait, Swati. Okay. Now, what we want to do, first you need to log in into the Azure to access the data factory and all. So for that, you need to use a URL called portal.azure.com. Tomorrow, I'll show you how to create the Azure account. Okay. But for today, let me directly log in using this URL. Take this URL, come here, enter. It will directly take me into the portal. It will not ask username and password because I already logged in. Tomorrow I'll show you how to create the Azure account. Okay. So this is called a Azure portal team. So here you can see the login user is the login user. If you want to log out, you can log out. And there are a lot of other things will be there. Whenever you need some surveys, as we have less time, I'll explain this also tomorrow. So for quick guide, what you can do, whenever you need some surveys, you can simply search here. For example, I need a blob storage. I can search for blob storage. So you can say blob storage is nothing but a storage account. Click on storage account. So in order to create one of the storage account in the Azure, you need to click create. Okay. This is a subscription. See, Azure cloud is nothing but these services are managed by the Microsoft. They are giving some service, means you need to make a payment, because they will not give for free, right? So whenever you are talking over a phone, there are two types of recharges you will do. One is prepaid, second one is a prepaid, second one is a postpaid. Okay. So what is meant by prepaid? What is meant by postpaid? Somebody tell me, Tim. What is meant by prepaid? What is meant by postpaid? So
If you want to,
prepaid means first you will make the payment, like you will recharge, you will add some 200 rupees or 300 rupees and you will start using it. Now if you look at postpaid means first you will use for 1 month and you can make the payments. Now similarly in Azure services also, same two types of subscriptions will be there. One is pay as you go, meaning it is a postpaid. Every month I'll get some bill, that bill I'll be paying. In your case, you will create a tomorrow free trial subscription. Free trial is kind of a prepaid. Prepaid means first $200 will be given for the free trial. You need to use the Azure services within the $200. If you convert $200 into INR, it will be around 16,000 rupees. Clear, all of you? That is all about the subscription you need to have. Next, for this particular training batch, I have created a dedicated WhatsApp group. Can you tell me the purpose of creating a dedicated WhatsApp group?
to share the related information.
So I want to identify the relevant people for this batch to share the common information for all the people at once. Okay. So for that, you have a WhatsApp group. Similarly, whenever you are doing something, to make sure whatever resources you need for this particular lab. For example, today we are doing first lab. I'll say Cloud Pandit first ADF lab -RG, something like this. But naming convention, it is not like that. For today, for easy understanding, I'm putting like this group. So that like this, you can create some group. Within this group, you can add all the services that you are using for today. One more thing is, in real time, you'll have a for dev one resource group, for UAT one resource group, for production one resource group will be there. Whoever is working, they'll come to know. Whoever is not working, they'll not come to know this. I'll explain this also in detail in the next session. So storage account name. So who is Aparna in the class? When I say Aparna, so there will be one person is responding. Who is Amar Lingaya? So there is a one person is responding, right? So which is nothing but a, we are identifying people uniquely. Similarly, here storage account also we need to give the name to identify uniquely. Cloud Pandit source blob. SRC blob is nothing but a Cloud Pandit source blob, I am saying, because we need to create a two storages, source and sink. This is source blob. With this, click review plus create. Don't worry about other options, we will discuss them later. Click create. So here source storage is created. So I'll open another tab for easy understanding, because I can create another storage within the same tab, but I don't want to switch between the storages within the same tab. I'll open another tab. I'll open the portal.azure.com. Again, same Azure account I'm opening from the second tab. Today it takes session till 7:30 because we have many things to discuss day one due to the theory part. Okay. So go to storage account again, because we need a sync storage also. Click create storage account. If you see, I am using same subscription, same resource group, only storage name I am giving it as a Cloud Pandit sync blob. Sync blob. Okay, target blob. So somebody has taken this name. So that's why I will use a TGT blob. TGT is nothing but target blob. Click review plus create. Click create it. Okay, so source blob you created, sync blob is created. Now come to the third tab, go to portal.azure.com again. So here you search for data factory. Now data factory, go to data factories, click on create a data factory. Resource group is same resource group I'm selecting, because data factory also I want to put it in the same resource group. Name of the data factory I'm giving Cloud Pandit -dev -ADF workspace. So I'm creating a ADF workspace. Click review plus create. Got it, team? Understood? Till here resource creation everybody understood? Okay, everybody understood source blob, sync blob, and then data factory. Now, what are the next step, team? So next step, if you remember, let me do this way. Kind of I created a source blob, kind of I created a sync blob, correct? Now I also created a data factory. Now what we want to do? Now I need to go to this source blob. This is a source blob. Okay, this is a sync blob. This is a data factory. Data factory. Now you see what we want to do. So within the source blob, now I need to create a one of the container called input container. Okay, I need to upload the input container. Let's upload input container. Okay, input folder I want to create in the source, and I want to upload some credit daily.csv file. I'll show you the CSV file how it will look like. So I want to upload the CSV file. So first we completed this one, next we completed this one, next we completed this. Let me complete this. Okay, go to the source blob, first tab, go to resource. So within this you can see something called data storage. Go to data storage, click on containers, click on containers. Container is nothing but a folders. Here click on the container, you have to see your team. So in the data storage I came to container. From here I am going to click on the container. I'll give the name of the container. Okay, click on this container, give the name of the container as input, click create. So now input container is created. Go inside input container. Now I'll be uploading. Upload. Today I'll share all the data sets that you required for labs. Yeah, you can just go to anything, credit underscore daily.csv. So let me open this file and show you. This is a very simple credit information. See, this is like this. Credit ID, card type, credit name, credit score. It's a CSV. If you click edit, you can see it's a comma separated, right? Comma separated data. CSV means comma separated value. So it's a comma separated value. If you click preview, it will show like this. This is the CSV file. I want to copy the CSV file from source blob storage input container to, okay, this also completed. Where we want to copy this file? We want to copy this file to sync blob output container. Okay, let me go and create an output folder in the sync blob. So go to second tab. Within the second tab, go to resource where I can create container team. You see under data storage, go to containers. Here you don't have any container. Click on this container. This is the output container. Click create. Okay. Okay team, so with this now we completed the output container. Now let me open the data factory. Now go to data factory, go to resource, launch data factory. So when you go to resource team, you need to click on the launch data studio so that you will be here. Okay, click on launch data studio, you will come here. Okay, let it open, let it open. So mainly there will be three tabs will be there here. Let's focus only on the three. Here you will manage the integration runtime, linked services. Okay, only those things you will manage here. All remaining things you will do it here. Pipeline runs you will check it in the monitor tab. Pipeline runs you will check it here. Connections and integration runtime you will manage here. Data sets, pipelines, pipeline runs, everything you can see in the author tab. Okay, so we can see, I'll show you that. Come, first go to manage tab. How many connections we need? Two connections. Okay, click on new linked service. So linked, see how to establish connection in the manage tab. Click on linked service, click on new integ. Okay, one more thing, go to integration runtime. You see default Azure integration runtime is available. Type of IR is Azure. IR is available by default. Okay, when you create data factory, IR will be available. I'll be using this IR to implement my pipeline. Go to linked service, click on new connection. To what we want to connect? Blob. Select Azure Blob Storage. So LS for source blob, blob source. Linked service for blob source. So you see auto resolve integration runtime. This is the integration runtime that we are using. Account key, because whenever you want to log in into your mobile, you have pattern, pin, password like that. We have different ways. We are using account key for today. Subscription is this. Within the subscription, I have two storages. Which one we want to connect now? SRC blob. See, key is loaded, test connection is successful, you can create it. So source blob connection is ready. Now again click on new and search for blob, select Azure Blob Storage, okay, ls for blob, which is a sync again, okay. See, ls blob sync, using integration runtime we are using account key, subscription is this. Now to which storage we want to connect? Target storage, test connection, click create. Now we created a two connections, okay. That is one of the authentication method. We will come to know each and everything, because today, so day one, just to try to understand how to create a linked service, how to create a data sets and all, I'll explain each and everything going forward, okay. Because day one I can't able to explain each and everything, so I'll definitely explain to you what is account key, what is SAS key and all, okay, because we'll be using all those things. Come to author tab. Account key is nothing but for example, if you want to log in into your mobile, you have a pin or password you setting, right? Similarly, if you want to log in into a storage account, there will be keys. For example, if you go to blob, because it will be confusing you again, that's why I'm not explaining everything in day one. You see, you will have access keys, you will be using these keys to connect, but ADF is capable enough to read these keys and load automatically, okay. That's okay. Please focus on the training team. Don't ask like will you share recording and all, because those all are irrelevant questions for the training. I'll share recordings and all, I'll told at the beginning itself, okay. Linked service we created. Now we need to create two data sets. Click on this, click on new data set. This is for the, so we need to read data from where? From the blob. Select Azure Blob. As a CSV you read it. CSV file I want to read. This is a data set for blob source. See, we are using a connection in order to read the data. Even though you created a data set, it is asking to give me linked service. I have given linked service. Now you can browse it, select input folder, you can select the file. So source data set is ready. That's it. Now I am creating a sync data set. New data set. Again for blob, select a blob as a CSV as it is. I am loading ds blob for sync, because this is the target. See, target linked service I am using. Browse it. It will give us output folder. See, click OK. Click OK. Now I am able to create a source data set. Now I am able to create a sync data set. Now next step is we need to create a pipeline. So click on this pipelines. Click on new pipeline. This is your pipeline. Within this there are a lot of tasks that you can do, but what we want is, as a first step, I want to copy task. So it is nothing but a copy activity I'm bringing, okay. So from where to where you want to copy? So I want to copy data from source data set to sync data set. These data sets are basically refers to the locations. Source data set points to the input folder, this file. Sync data set points to the output folder. What this copy activity is doing? It is copying the file from input container to output container. Now we need to run this pipeline. How to run it? You have a debug option to run the pipeline. Click on debug. It will run your pipeline. It will run your pipeline. Now let me show you the data. As of now, theory, whatever we discussed, that is what I am showing you. So if you click on these details, it will tell you one file it read from source, files written is 1, status is succeeded. Now if you go to the target storage account, go inside output blob, you can able to see same file loaded at what time? 7 o'clock 26 minutes 26 seconds. You can click on the CSV file, click on edit. You should be able to see all this data as it is, okay. Now let me repeat all the things that we have done. First, I have shown you integration runtime, which is an engine which helps us to move the data. This integration runtime I am using within the linked services. So these linked services we are creating using integration runtime. So I am using different authentication method, but I am using account key. Account key, you can see in every storage access keys is nothing but account keys. Okay, these are the key. This key will be loaded automatically to establish the connection. Okay, so you are able to test the connection as well. Once the connections are created, you created a data sets which points to the locations where we have a data, what data we want to read. Finally, I created a pipeline. Within the pipeline, I am using copy task to move data from source data set to sync data set. It is nothing but a input container to output container. I am moving the data. Okay, now you can ask all your doubts. Today's session is completed from my end. Feeling bit disconnected as I'm seeing these tabs, cloud connection for the first time. Yes, definitely it will be there, because first time you'll have a little confusion. Day one, some theory, labs, everything we discussed. That's why we are not able to put much focus on the lab. But tomorrow you will have better clarity on the lab. And I also will explain to you how to create Azure account tomorrow, so that once you explore all these things, you will have a better clarity on these things. Will you share this recording daily? Need to go through. Yes, recording will be shared on the same day before 10 or 10:30. I'll upload, because I also need to go to office, right? So before that only I'll upload, and we'll leave for the office. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody need any doubts from today's session? Please let me know.
Uh, his account key is nothing but server connection.
It's a storage account key. This is
Okay.
what the key I'm showing you here, right? There will be two keys. Any key you can able to use. In the future, I'll manually upload this key and I'll show you. Okay, I'll take this key. Now you can also see now, because many people are only focused on this. So that's why let me show you this. For example, this is a source connection. I'm copying this key. Now I'll show you. See what I'm doing. Enter manual I put, right? So this storage account key I'm removing and replacing the key that I pasted. Test connection. One second, what happened? Storage. Okay, this is a target storage. I'm connecting with the source key. Okay, so now this is a source blob source connection. Test the connection. You should be able to successfully connect. Okay, because this is a source blob, you will have to provide the source key. See, manually I uploaded the key and able to establish connection. But you will see future sessions. I'll show you in detail. So step by step how you can able to reuse this key. Okay, any other questions? Final call team. Anybody have any questions? Fine, don't worry. So we have a lot of time to discuss, and if you have anything, we will discuss. Okay.
Is it my voice audible? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Sir,
Hello.
can you,
Yeah.
sir, this is Swati. So, can you please show once again tomorrow the same process so that we can know very thoroughly?
Definitely. We will see same because similar labs will be there next to 2 to 3 days. The reason is within the same lab, we need to make small changes, and we need to explore a lot of scenarios are there. So that's why similar labs we will do. Next to this
Okay,
entire week, almost we'll have similar kind of a lab, and we will be making small changes to explore multiple scenarios.
okay.
Next.
And this authentication key, the account key do changes, right?
No, it will not change until you change it.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Next.
yeah.
To move
Yeah.
the data from the on-prem to the Azure cloud, we will follow the same steps like creating the copy activity.
On-premise only integration runtime that we discuss, right? That is only going to change, but entire other process is same. Only IR is
Uh,
going to change.
okay, in this process, where we are cleaning the data or
Where we are?
cleaning the data.
No, cleaning data and all, it will not. See, you are asking end-to-end project in the day one session. First, you should understand. I started building the house. Today, just started house building. I can't able to complete entire house day one. Try to understand.
Oh,
Okay. It takes some time, cleaning and all.
Okay, and sir, in general common terminology, a pipeline we can refer as a structure or a, what I can say, a
Group of
folder.
activities that we can able to run in sequence or parallel. Pipeline is used for the orchestration purpose. So how your task should be run. For example, after copy activity, I want to delete it. Okay. Or so this delete can be put at the front and back based on your requirement now, because destination folder I want to clean before I copy, you have to put copy at the front. No, after copying the data I want to delete source folder, you can put the delete activity after copy activity. So that's a based on your scenario, you need to organize these activities. For that you have a pipeline to streamline your activities.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Any other questions, Steve?
Actually, when user enter the data in any application like personal details and educational details, all the details if user entered, it will be stored into the on-premises like database. After that,
Yes.
we have
Yes.
to download that
That is what I'm
source.
saying. It takes some
Okay,
time for you to understand all those things, how to bring data from on-premise. I'll show you, because we
okay,
just
okay,
started. Each and every lab will be covered because I'm just trying to build you the basics day one. Okay. So
okay,
it will be covered, team. Don't worry. I like look at the syllabus. As per the syllabus, we are going. Okay. So you
okay,
look at where we have on-premise labs will come. I'm not deviating from syllabus for this batch. I'll complete exact syllabus which is given. Earlier, I used to give whatever random labs, whatever I'm working, new labs and all I used to introduce. But for this batch, there won't be any other new labs except the syllabus which I have given. Maybe batch to batch, I'll keep adding the syllabus as per the syllabus only. I'll go. Okay.
okay.
And sir, also
Next.
please let us know how to I mean, get the subscription or anything to work on these labs.
Yeah, that's what I told, right? I'll discuss that tomorrow. Tomorrow lab, our first priority is how to create a account and the setting of the subscription. Because once that is done, then I'll ask you
Okay.
to do the like today lab or tomorrow lab, so that you can explore the things. You will get better
Oh,
clarity.
sure, sure. Yes, if it is done, I'll leave the meet, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's done. Any other questions, team, from anybody? Okay, if no questions, then thank you all. That's all for today.